Mm. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to a special edition of Real Bytes Gaming. And I'm here to show off my latest build creation. This was a creation build that was requested by one of my favorite viewers and followers of my channel. We're going to go ahead and launch into this, and we're going to give you a nice guided tour, and we're going to add in some new a secondary build just to so you can see what's going on in our server. So we'd like to start off by saying that I do play in creative mode, but that's okay because I still get a great sense of satisfaction every time I complete a build. And I do apologize for any technical errors, as I know I've just rearranged my room, so my desk got rearranged, so some of the technical audio quality may be just a little bit off, and I do apologize for that. So let's get started. This is our Minecraft list. Now, I do have Elysium. Unfortunately, I forgot to renew the subscription this month. I'm going to be renewing that here after this video has been shot. The actual build is on the public server, which belongs to my better half, and we're going to go ahead and go in there because that is where the created build is, and that's also where my mainstay build is. So we're going to go ahead and select that world. That is Raenar, and we're going to go ahead and launch into Raenar. We're going to go ahead and say play. Now, if it doesn't launch right away, of course I will cancel it, and then I will cancel the attempt to log in and then re-log in again. Now, as we're waiting for this to load, so this was a build that was requested by my son, who I absolutely love and adore, and he requested that I build a cafe by my docks to show that there's a place where people can stop, grab a bite to eat, or cook something up themselves, and sit at a nice table and enjoy the beautiful views at sunset, and maybe take a walk through the vaults. And so we're going to go ahead and look at all those things, as well as a nice little guided tour of my homestead, and that is estate. That's going to be Real Bytes Estates. So bear with me here, and just let that load real quick. Okay, and if you while we're doing that, if you could just take a moment and hit that subscribe button if you're seeing this on YouTube, or if you are lucky to be one of my patrons on Patreon, feel free to just like that video, and I'll be happy, or leave a comment or two about build requests or something you'd like to see me do in the game. Now, as you can see, we are going to get to the docks, but I'd like to start with the overall build, which is the immense grandeur of the walls of this area. Excuse me, I'll go ahead and go up here so you can see the rest of it. Oh, and I seem to be missing some fencing. Let me go ahead and just fix that real quick. And we're gonna go ahead and grab the fencing, because I believe that's what that is. No, it's not. I don't know what that is. Bear with me here. Maybe it's jungle fencing. Is that what it is? Jungle fence? Yeah, it's jungle fence. Okay. Sometimes creepers come along on our row here. Bear with me. I'm just going to get to that in just a second. I'm just going to go clear that block off. The Endermen like to move blocks, and as you can see, I've got a ton of blocks in that area. They like to move the blocks around, and you'd think I'd put a stop to it by now, but apparently you can't stop Endermen, who seem to be building walls here. Let's go ahead and just cancel that out, and I'll re-establish those later. Obviously, and apparently now I have mushrooms growing in my hallways there. So this is the Real Bytes Estates Manor grounds. This is a small town that is started by walls that are 32. Actually, the towers are 20, I believe 20 by 20. Don't quote me on that. I will have to do the actual measurements. However, it is a 32 block wide space in between the towers. There are 4 towers on each side, and of course the 4 corner towers counts as part of those walls. Going through the main gate, of course, you will go ahead and walk into a very busy marketplace where we have plenty of trade going on and plenty of townsfolk. Hello, fellas. How you doing? So we have these beautiful stalls where they can go and they can trade, or you can use the stalls yourself for whatever you need, like upgrading your gear, maybe creating a map, cutting some, and there's also stone cutting. Oops. And of course here I just put that up there for fun. So we have these really great market stalls. These were created by using wool blocks for the awning, which I was, at the time when we first started, you couldn't put wool carpeting on top. So we're going to be changing these out. We're going to keep the same thing, but we're going to be using wool carpet instead of blocks. And we're going to be revamping that just a little bit. Now, of course, we have the overall Royal Gardens. This is the Royal Farm here, which has one of every type of vegetables, and it looks like somebody's been in the garden. It's okay, we'll go ahead and have to fix that up. This has, of course, we have our pumpkins, we have melons, we have wheat and potatoes, and we have carrots, of course, radishes, and of course we have our composting to make sure everything is healthy and grown. We also have our fisheries here. So this is our salmon hatcheries with our salmon. Good day, sir. Go ahead and take a look at the other bit. So we have our place where you can fish and you can catch some salmon. We also have the residences, and there's a nice little sauna for those who want like a sweat lodge if they want to go ahead and detox for the day. Now this is the community garden. This is open to all of our farmers, and as you can see, it's looking very well. It looks like we had an Enderman attack, and he didn't get very far. We also have our little church here. This is the Order of the Perpetual Rose. Let me go ahead and close that door. This is the Holy Order of the Perpetual Purple Rose and Blossom Ministry and Library. This is actually where our enchanting station is. So this is our enchanting room with a brewing stand. As you can see, that's going on. Our memorial, dedicated to friends who have long passed, who were also avid lovers of the game. And of course, that is the internal area where the estate owners sleep and dwell and basically live. Those will be the quarters. However, that is under construction at the moment, so we have a temporary setup here in the hall, in this particular hallway. I'm gonna have to do some cleaning there. Endermen tend to track in mud and dirt blocks. Sir? Let's go ahead and take a trip down to the docks. And of course, we have lovely cats. We do have a, like, I wouldn't call it a menagerie, but it's a nice farm that's got horses, skeletal horses, rainbow sheep, and chickens, and pigs and cows. And so it's really nice. And we'll save that for last. So going through the tower to the left of the main entrance, you'll come down here and you'll find the Snack Cafe, or Snack Shack, as my son is fond of calling it. This is called Games Snack Shack, where you can find food, friends, and fun. The area was carved out using a 10, I believe it's a 10 by 12. We had to be very careful about carving, as we were also working amidst another project, which was a vault using a redstone system that can hold up to 2 million items and does an automatic sorting. Redstone being very complicated to work with, that particular build is still in production. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So welcome to Gabe's Snack Shack, where we have a nice little, these are the, bear with me here, I believe those were birch. Okay, so yes, birch, and so we have birch trap doors, which you can set up to act as a barrier so people don't get hit by random stray ash or sparks from the campfire. And we'll get to that in a minute. So you can see that was like coming over the side there. We have crimson trap doors to add a nice little railing texture to the front of the counter space. Flowers to just give it a nice aesthetically pleasing look. And of course, what cafe would be complete without a tip jar? And of course, a barrel for drinks. We also have a bell that we ring anytime someone puts money in the tip jar. My intention at this point is going to be at some point to remove this and put in put in like something that would serve as a way to basically put where you can actually leave actual emerald tips for the person running the snack shack. Behind the counter, which we have here, which spans pretty much the length of the wall, we have our campfire where you can cook up to 4 meats, 4 fish. We have our smoker where you can smoke some meats. You can see you can also do dried kelp, baked potatoes, and cooked salmon. You also have a regular oven where you can do just basic foodstuffs, and as well as the campfire. We decided to do a cooktop counter here with chests to place extra food, cooked and both prepared and unprepared meals can actually go in there. And of course, here is the eating counter for the patrons, with booth-like seatings along that. It's 2 seats and with a block space in between. 3 gates, as it made more sense to use gates instead of doors, with a nice archway, so you can quickly access the snack shack. And of course, the lighting is above the counters recessed. We also decided to go one step further and create an outdoor eating area for people who wish to come in and partake of the snack shack. What we did here, and I'm going to go ahead and just use my powers of levitation, is for the actual decorative feature, we used fencing, and as you can see, the fencing is actually holding in the water. Water blocks were used. Actually, there was water blocks, and then there was the glass planes. Yes, there's that little bit of dripping, water dripping, but that's okay. It's holding very nicely. But I thought this was a very nice feature rather than having blocks or having glass. This just looked a lot nicer. I may change this later, we'll see. The seating area can accommodate up to at least, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Internal dining area seats up to, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. So that's 23 in total occupancy for the snack shack area. And of course, there's also a little extra area if people just want to mill around and enjoy the nice view outside of the window here. I didn't have the heart to break this up because it just made it feel too closed in. So to give it a more open air feel, we went ahead and just put in a glass pane so you can take advantage of the nice water feature as you're sitting in bed. Now you do have the clouds above, so you can actually have the nice sky. Plenty of lanterns give it nice ambient lighting, and of course, what outdoor area would not be complete without some nice artwork on the wall? Leaving the snack shack area, I'd like to say thank you to my #1 fan for asking me to build this for him, and I'm so glad that I did because this has been amazing. It was such a wonderful build, and I had so much fun building it. Heading down the stairs to the docks, we have 2 docks currently in operation with 2 boats. We got a couple of junglewood boats, and of course we have a couple of dark oak boats. However, someone seems to have left a birch one, so I will be constructing a 3rd dock here as well. It's on a list of projects that I have for this area. And now we'll go ahead and want to show off. This is actually quite pretty. So we have these really great lanterns here, and want to make sure that was even. So we have these really great lanterns here, and then we have this beautiful, beautiful rose garden here using, I believe those are oak or dark oaks. Let me go ahead and double check that for you. Those were the jungle trapdoors that we used to just kind of pretty that up a little bit. And again, you just aim them at the top of the block on the side, and then just close them, and it looks like a really nice planter box where we planted our roses. And that's just a nice little entry to great. We also have our port safe house, guarded by Ying and Yang, our 2 cats. This safe house accommodates up to 2 people with a place to put your armor stand. You have your ender chest, a fuel chest, as well as a couple of workstations and furnaces. Let's see. And it looks like we still are good on fuel. And then, of course, we have storage chests for if you guys want to just drop off anything, or you need to drop off anything that needs to be put inside the vault. Before we go into the vault, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the water feature here. This was actually created and it took 14 game days. This was made using recessed lanterns in the walls covered with glass panes. The terracotta that was used on the back wall for the final art project was a combination of two different types. That was the light blue glazed terracotta as well as the white glazed terracotta, and then of course we added lanterns and covered it with glass panels. We also used lanterns and glass blocks for the floor, for the lighting in the floor, to give it a nice little ambient look. Now, the water in question, looking as beautiful as it does, is compliments of the BSL shaders, and that will be found in the description box. We also have our vault here that was currently under construction. This vault houses over 2 million items and uses a redstone sorting system to sort them automatically. This is still under construction, and we are still currently working very hard. And just to show you kind of the setup here for the redstone construction, go ahead and just use my powers of levitation. And as you can see, this is set up as a very sophisticated system using hoppers, redstone comparators, and repeaters. Lots of redstone. However, farming redstone is a pain in the butt, so it is taking some time to farm that redstone. Yes, I do play in creative, so it is more of the as I have time to work on this particular project, and that's when I'm able to work on it. The Flora, of course, has been completely done with recessed lighting and glass panes. The chandelier in the center is done with oak fencing, lanterns, and soul torches. The soul torches give it a nice blue touch just because I really liked it. But it adds some nice ambient lighting to the area. Now, the video that I actually got this vault build from actually suggests using torches for lighting. However, I felt that this made it look more sophisticated and made it look a little nicer. Each section is roughly 32 by 8 by 11, I believe is. No, I'm sorry, that's 8 tall. So it's 8 tall, 32 long, and I believe 11 blocks wide. I believe those were the exact measurements. Again, the link to that video will be in the description at the end of this, either at the end of it and the description section at the bottom of this video. As you can see, this is still being worked on. And there you have it, folks. So this is the current progress of my estate. And as you can see, that is the Raenar estates over there, or Moncare Manor, as some people prefer to call it. And that will be filmed another day, as we are constantly making changes to our builds, enhancing or improving as we learn these techniques. Let's go ahead and, as promised, I'll go ahead and show off my menagerie here. Oh, it looks like we got some friends. Okay, let's go ahead and take a trip over to the other side of town. As you can see, I hung lanterns virtually anywhere to keep things from spawning inside the walls. We have cats, we have golems, and we have plenty of villagers. It looks like all the villagers are asleep now, and the golems are keeping careful watch over our village. This is our town center. Of course, this was created using a well that was built because the villagers kept jumping into the well. We had to fence this off. But as you can see, the villagers are nicely tucked in their beds. However, that should not. I'm gonna have to go through. I really need to go through the houses. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and take a look inside of our lovely barn menagerie area, where we have several different animals. We have our horses and skeletal horses. Oh my goodness, look at that. We have our rainbow sheep and a couple of black sheep in the family, but they're really nice. our chickens. These are the chickens that we just have so we can have the eggs. We're in the process of building an actual egg contraption, a coop, and of course we have our cows and we have our pigs. We also have, for your viewing pleasure, we also have our sea turtles. These little guys have been truly amazing. Right now they're temporarily housed here until we can make better accommodations for them. And we're looking at doing that here shortly. I'm going to be widening this out so we can add some more water so these guys can swim around. And of course, this is our cat, Ellie. I gotta kind of push him out of the way here. You know you shouldn't stay there. And of course, we have the park. More cats. Because what's a town without a few thousand cats in it? We are still currently working on the upper levels of this side, and I'm also working on levels as well as building the rooms. And also you can see the Endermen have been endlessly busy, making my life difficult by adding bricks where they just don't need to be any bricks. This is a three tall hallway, so that doesn't surprise me for getting in. Go ahead and just remove these. So we're gonna go ahead and just remove these blocks. Now I do have an exit over here that leads to another area that belonging to another a friend of mine, and of course we have the beautiful water. So we have beautiful flowing water. It's a nice water feature, and it was very well crafted. Okay, and thanks to the Enderman, we now have mushrooms growing in our area, which we shouldn't. Go ahead and close. Okay, so this is all nice and cleaned up and cleared out. Now, my other favorite part is we have an actual business district in our town. This business district houses one of each of every type of crafter that is available. As you can see, they have this really great, like, there's the stonecutters office, and they all have names. So we, of course, have our Sundance Masonry between a rock and a hard place, Hammerdale Smithery for all your smithing needs. We have Platinum Plus Pig Stickers and other fine weapons, Schroeder's Arms and Armories where you can get armor. Let's see, we have, what else do we have? And bear with me, I haven't been through this part of town in a while. The Spinner's Tail Woven Works, which is where you get someone who can do loom work. And we have our straight shot archery supplies and arrows. And it looks like those pesky Endermen have been added again. There we go, much better. So we do have some very lovely places. We also have an enchanter alchemist who lives just on the other side of the park here. And I'll go ahead and take you to their building here. I know they are. Well, they were. Yes, here it is. This is Celestial Teas and Brews, drinks for every occasion. And then we have, of course, Dante's Inferno smoked meats and fish, as well as Left Turn at Ware cartographies, where you can get your maps. We have a little bit of everything in our town. We want to make sure that any players who came to our town were fully welcomed and would not be too distressed at wondering where to find people needed to facilitate their needs, like if they needed maps, food, or weapons of any kind. So we just kind of try to make this as homey as possible. It does seem like a very large estate, but in contrast, it's actually a very quaint village that is secure and protected at all times. And as for the snack shack and the docking area, we welcome patrons of all types, and we hope that their stay is a magical one. So this concludes our tour of the estates of Real Bytes Gaming. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. In the meantime, take care, rest well, and like all things in life, game hard or go home. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much for watching.